What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Game Show. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? We are back once more with the weekly show. It is episode 147, kind of a short show this week. I know, I usually like to go long after a week of not doing the show. It's just there wasn't a whole hell of a lot of news last week. Really wasn't a whole lot of stuff this week other than some things here and there that I might expand upon. But other than that, we just have some short articles of stuff that I found fun. Mix that, you take all of that, then you mix it with just the entire shit show that has been my personal life, and everything that's been going on pretty much my entire semester. I won't get into it because it's just going to make me mad and it's going to be a lot of depressing bullshit, but I'm just letting you guys know, if it seems like, hey, why is AJ just like, why is he putting out a whole lot of videos and then almost nothing, and a lot of videos? My mood has been up and down, up and down, up and down, and this channel, I try and be, I try to be entertaining, try being the operative word. But either way, that's enough of that bullshit. If you're new to the program, basically what we do here, we sit here, read news articles, sometimes watch videos. Actually, I have a very short video set up for you at the end of this one. It's a new announced trailer. If you can, read the top bar, you'll see what it is. I'm very excited for it, by the way. And then I give my takes, we read, we have fun, hopefully, and talk about this shit. If you ever have any suggestions for articles, videos, or you want to give your opinions to me about something, you want to disagree with me, you want to argue with me about something, or even if you want to agree with me and tell me, hey, good job, you do that down in the comments. All I ever ask is that, if it's going to be criticism, we please keep it constructive and keep from just I don't mind arguing. I don't mind throwing jabs at each other. But when you're blatantly being a jackass, then that's when we got problems. So I think that's all that general stuff. Let's hop into the news. And I guess starting off, we have this. I don't even know what to call this. This kind of came out of nowhere. I think this was from GDC, where apparently Google has or I'll just read the article name here. Google announces Stadia, is it Stadia or Stadia? I'm going with Stadia. Please correct me if I'm wrong. A powerful new game streaming service. See, this is weird to me. Mostly it's because I believe Xbox wanted to do something similar to this, where they want to have an online-only console that, that they're trying to get rid of having to download games and discs and everything like that, and trying to move to a strictly like a streaming service for video games. Personally, I don't think this works. I mean, I've seen a few articles here and there for Stadia that have said like the actual amount of internet you need is the same as like watching Netflix. But I find that a little hard to believe. I don't know. We'll see how it is when it fully comes out and, everything gets up and running. I could be eating a whole lot of crow there. But still, to me, the streaming idea, when it comes to being the main way to play and own and whatever with games, I think is weird. I mean, it also makes me ask the question, do I now no longer own games? Like, if is it how to put it? Is this streaming model, is it like Netflix's where it's, you have to drop like a monthly subscription and I have access to everything, or do I like rent games at a time? There are just some weird questions. I don't know. I've skimmed through this article. Let's see if we can get some of these questions answered. This is on Game Informer and by Matt Burtz. All right, let's hear. Google CEO Sundar Pichai admits he's not a big gamer, but he's got big plans for gamers around the world. Today, Google revealed its new game streaming platform, Stadia, with a stated goal to bring the best games to everyone in the world. And I quote, "When we say for everyone, we really mean it. It's one of our most cherished values at the company," end quote, Pichai says. Here's everything we know about the platform right now. Okay, let's start off with how powerful is Stadia. The Google Data Center network powering Stadia covers 19 regions, 58 zones, and 200 plus countries and territories, bringing the 4K 60 FPS games to 2 billion people via any device using the Chrome browser. This includes desktop, laptops, phones, tablets, and televisions. This means players can bring games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey anywhere they take their devices and pick up right where they left off. Okay, the tech blades powering the Stadia experience in these data centers are formidable. While the PS4 runs at 4.2 GPU teraflops and the Xbox One at 6 GPU teraflops, I have no idea what any of this means. Stadia runs at 10.7 GPU teraflops. It also supports Unreal Engine 4 and Unity. Marty Straighton said Doom Eternal already runs on Stadia with 4K and HDR at 60 FPS. In the future, the service will support 8K resolutions and 120 frames per second. Introducing the Stadia controller, kind of looks like a mishmash between the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. The Stadia service works with existing USB controllers or mouse and keyboard. Google also designed its own matte white controller, which connects through Wi-Fi directly to the game that is running in the Google data center. To ensure that the highest possible performance, the Stadia controller features 2 new buttons. The capture button is for sharing your play with 4K resolution at 60 FPS, and the Google Assistant button allows players to access the controller's built-in microphone to get help when they are stuck directly from the AI assistant, which can immediately pull up a walkthrough or offer advice. What the fuck is that? I'm sorry, that I find... I don't know. I don't know why I don't like that. Why I don't like the concept of having an AI assistant say, hey, I can't... I don't know. Maybe it's because when I get stuck, I Google it. I have my computer right next to me. I don't know. There's something about literally having a button for, a help me button in your controller. Just kind of... something doesn't sit right with me. The Stadia technology connects directly into YouTube, allowing players... watching a game stream to click a play now button and be playing within 5 seconds. The crowd play feature allows content creators to stream directly through Stadia and even drop viewers right into their multiplayer sessions or queue them up for the next match. Using state share, developers and streamers can share game states that drop players directly into a moment or challenge for any game on the platform. Developers and creators can build as many shareable moments as they want. Q Games founder Dylan Cuthbert developed an entire game around this new technology that will be revealed later this year. Okay. What about cross-platform games? Google VP Phil Harrison says Stadia supports cross-platform play and can migrate saves from pre-existing platforms. However, he did not reveal which consoles or services are supported. Hundreds of publishers and studios are currently migrating games to Stadia. Bethesda, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Q Games, and Tequila Works all participated in the presentation. Google hasn't revealed any platform exclusives, but the newly formed Stadia Games and Entertainment division headed by former EA and Ubisoft exec Jim Raymond is committed to creating games specifically for the platform. I highly doubt that's going to take off. I don't know why. Service launches later in 2019, first in the US, Canada, United Kingdom, and parts of Europe. We don't know just yet. We expect details to be revealed this summer, but sources say this is a Netflix-like subscription service and not a regular marketplace like Steam. Okay, this is where I'm sitting here calling bullshit. Maybe it's because I'm so stuck into the traditional idea of of console and PC gaming, of like a marketplace and everything like that. Basically, and again, feel free to correct me if I'm misreading this or misinterpreting this, but what I'm taking this to mean is this is a service like Netflix that. So what, I drop a monthly subscription and I can have access to all of these games? Then how the hell are the developers making money? Why are the developers making more games? This doesn't seem to fit what... I don't want to say... how to put it? And I'm sure a lot of people are sitting here going, this sounds great. It sounds great on its face. But it sounds a little too good, I can just pay a monthly, unless, again, I'm misunderstanding how the payment is going to work, but from the way I'm reading it is, I pay a monthly, fee, but then I can play, great, I can play all of these games. Well, again, that just seems, what do the developers get? Why would the developers make more games beyond what we already have? This feels bad for the industry. maybe if you're like, if this is going to be a new marketplace in a new way, like, hey, now I can play games through Google on my phone. Like, I go to Stadia and I buy Assassin's Creed Odyssey, then I can play Odyssey on any of these platforms that we're seeing here through Stadia. I get that, but the fact that they're making it kind of as it, again, if I'm reading this correctly, where they're comparing it to, it's like this is a Netflix-like subscription service. I don't get how this is going to work. Maybe it's going to make Google money, but I don't understand how this makes money to the rest of the gaming industry. That's what I don't understand. I mean, unless you have to buy the game somewhere else and then... But also, here's my next question. It's talking about cross-platform and bringing saves over, but how am I supposed to connect Google to my PlayStation? Or why would PlayStation even have that? Well, I guess because they're not exclusives. I don't know. If somebody wants to try and grab all these massive thoughts, this seems like, it's like I keep saying, this sounds like a cool idea, but the logistics of which, my question, the functionality, I'd have to actually play with it before I make any decision on how it functions, but the logistics and what this is going to do to the industry really make me go, whoa, this does not sound like a good plan. Again, so feel free to try and sell me to pitch me something different, but there's something about this that just doesn't sound right to me. Like I feel like I'm being pitched a bunch of bullshit. In all honesty, that's just the vibe I get. But like I said, I'm happy to be to have my mind changed. Just let me know down in the comments what you guys think of Stadia. Moving on, this kind of makes me. I added this one just because I thought this was kind of funny. That apparently Walmart might be working on its Stadia competitor. It's like I put in the title of this video, and I think I put this on Twitter, asking Are these like streaming services? Is this going to be the next? I can't remember the exact wording of my tweet. When I was like, is this going to be the new battle royale games? Like every game has a battle royale. Now everyone has to come up with a new streaming service for games, and then they're all just going to die slowly. Sorry, bad joke. Article by Hunter Wolf, also of Game Informer. It's kind of a short article, but let's go through here. Google dominated games industry conversations this week with its reveal of Stadia, a game streaming platform that may lay the foundation for a console-free future. Although we have some concerns, another major corporation may soon throw its hat in the ring, though, and it's Walmart. See, and again, I keep going back to it. This console-free future... It's not, with what, again, if I'm reading Stadia correctly, it's not just a console-free future, it's a marketplace-free future. It would require developers to make games for very little profit. Again, unless I'm reading this wrong. Why would somebody take the time to create a game like God of War, to create a game like, I'm trying to think of some of the cool stuff I'm playing right now. Sekiro, The Division 2, let's go Assassin's Creed, Red Dead Redemption 2. There are tons of great games that have come out recently or that are set to come out this year. I mean, I'm still looking at next month. I'm still super excited. Like, I'm counting the days till Days Gone. Why would developers take the time to develop these games if they're not going to see a payout as in... Again, it's how are developers getting paid here is what I don't understand, and why developers would go through with this. Because if they're not getting a chunk of that $60 that we drop on the game, this is a monthly subscription fee. Well, how much is the monthly fee? Because are the developers going to get a chunk of that every month, or is it the developer's like, here, you can put our game on your service. Okay, now Google takes in all this money and the developer doesn't see crap? Or do they get paid up front? Like, how the fuck does this work? And how do the again, I know I'm rambling here, but this is the part that I really can't get over, especially when you call this a console-free future. How does this work with paying developers? Because again, say what you want about developers and that them being greedy, but if they aren't making money, we're not getting games. And I don't see how they make money or how they make enough money that developing new giant games are worth their while with this service. That is what I'm getting at. Sorry, I went on a rant there. I'll try to keep it down. According to a report on US Gamer, the retail giant, has been chatting with game developers and publishers since early this year, and through this week's Game Developers Conference, and that the company is exploring its own game streaming service. This isn't too shocking, though. Walmart has spent the past few years positioning itself as a true player in the e-commerce game. 2016, the company acquired Jet.com, which at the time was one of the fastest growing e-commerce sites in the US. Just last year, Walmart revealed a 5-year partnership with Microsoft that grants the company access to Microsoft cloud computing tools in efforts to reduce operating costs and give its associates support tools in stores. It's likely this partnership has little to do with the whispers of Walmart's alleged game streaming service, but it illustrates the company's investment into cloud solutions. US Gamer's report mentions Walmart Labs, a segment of the company spearheading the retailer's technology initiatives. Several reports reveal the arm is hiring aggressively, so it's possible the company is gathering talent to build its Stadia competitor, or maybe Walmart's interest is just that, for now, interest. Again, same thing with what I said about Stadia. Again, if somebody wants to kind of lay things out a little bit clearer for me and go, well, this is how it works, or their idea of how this has worked, again, feel free. Try and change my mind. But right now, with the way I look at Stadia and this streaming thing, I'm like, ooh, this does not sound like a good idea overall. That's my take on it. And so it just kind of something to tack on here. Is somebody want to try and explain / change my mind on why I don't give two shits about this whole Epic Game Store debacle that I have been seeing a lot lately? Because I think a game I've been looking at for a while, Phoenix Point, from some of the early developers, not Firaxis, but people who worked on the XCOM games. They're working on a new XCOM-style tactical game called Phoenix Point. I think the game looks really cool. I've talked about it a few times on the channel. I know that Christopher Rod, he's done some alpha playthroughs of it, or some alpha maps or whatever. I really like the concept of the game. I like the way it plays. I just like the concept overall. I really like the game. I like strategy games and XCOM and all this. But apparently, because it got funded through FIG, I believe, is what I saw. So people are saying, we are investors, through this service, they are technically treated like investors, and originally the developers promised that the game was going to be out on every platform. So I'm guessing like GOG, Epic, Steam, and all this. But apparently the developers have said that it's going to be an Epic Games exclusive. And again, this is something else I put out on Twitter. Somebody want to explain to me, and I'll get to the main point here. Somebody want to explain to me what the controversy is that it's not a Steam exclusive, that it's an Epic Games exclusives. I mean, we saw this with Metro Exodus. We saw this with the Division 2 is dealing a lot with Epic. There's a few other titles that I think have been really pushing towards Epic. What's the issue? I mean, as far as I can see, it's not a paid service. I mean, it's like Steam. It's a download, and then you play around with it. I mean, it's kind of like Epic Games' version of Origin, except it plays with games that aren't Epic Games. It's just its own store. Epic in this case acts like Valve with Steam. I don't understand what the controversy is. Is it that people don't like that there's a competitor to Steam? Is it that people only want to use Steam? Is it that... where is the controversy? Maybe it's because I've grown up as a console guy that I sit here and go, okay, this sounds a lot like PlayStation versus Xbox exclusives. So what did I do to avoid the issue? I have a PlayStation and an Xbox. I know it's easy. Ooh, I have the money to buy a PlayStation and Xbox. Fine. Granted, I got like my Xbox One years later and on like Black Friday or something. But so I got it extremely discounted. It's kind of like my Switch. I got it discounted. Or my Vita, where I bought in a pawn shop. Yes, I admit I shop at pawn shops for old games and consoles and stuff like that. But again, getting off the topic here, I do not, like I said, this has been my past. I grew up around consoles and console wars, but that's what this whole Epic Games versus Steam thing has seemed to me. It seemed like just a PC version of the console wars. Maybe it's the PC community hasn't been around this for very often. They kind of, as far as I've seen, have kind of stuck their nose up to the console peasants like myself, and this is just their time to deal with it, or what? I don't see the controversy. Well, maybe with Phoenix Point, I can kind of see it where people are saying, hey, look, this was in Fig, you made promises, now you're breaking these promises, without even telling us, the people who are the investors and all this. I get that stuff, that's its own thing. I think it was a Styx Hexenhammer video I skimmed through, where he said that this was, he used the term illegal, which I don't think is technically correct, because I think your issue in this would be a civil issue and not a, they do this and the police come and arrest them. That's when I think of that stuff as illegal. When it's a civil issue, it's me, in breach of contract. But again, I'm not sure the exact law standing here, which that might be an issue. But overall, what I'm getting at with, again, it's like I said with the whole Epic versus Steam thing. I don't get that overall controversy, the concept. It's just, I'll say it one more time. The thing I've been ranting on for the last 5 minutes and really just kind of circling around to saying the same thing. It reminds me of the console war, and I don't get the problem. Or not the people saying, well, exclusives are bad for the industry. I don't think that's true at all. I really don't think that's true. I think it's just to push people towards one box or the other. This way, it's to push people to one. And hell, even in this case, Steam, the Epic Game Store, from what I can tell, you don't have to pay to use it. Just like I don't have to pay to use Steam. It's just a platform in which I buy games. Like right now, I use Steam and GOG. Honestly, if Epic keeps doing some of this stuff and some of these strategy games, because that's really what I play on PC, go over to Epic, I'll download the Epic Store. I don't get the problem. And again, if somebody who's more versed in this area of the industry wants to come and tell me, hey AJ, well actually there is a problem with the Epic Store, come tell me. Happy to listen. But I don't see it. Me sitting here, hearing people complain, people talk about this, I don't get the issue. And again, like I say, it might be a personal thing. I don't know. I've ranted enough on this crap. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Moving on. We got an article here on the PlayStation blog, and I think this is Samori Road, and I think he sent this to me on Twitter. Was anybody shocked to see that PlayStation's going to be doing this State of Play? PlayStation's new video showcase debuts Monday. I'm trying to think. The 25th. You know what? I don't know. I might do a watch the stream and sit here and do my own commentary over it. I don't know. I don't do that for like the Nintendo Directs, which I think this is what this is. But PlayStation's version of it. But I don't know. See, I'm more of a PlayStation guy. Maybe we'll do that. I haven't fully decided. Tell me in the comments if you're interested in it. I won't be streaming or anything. I won't be doing anything like that. But I will. I'll watch the stream and kind of do what I do with like the Game Awards and E3 and all that stuff. And we'll sit and I'll give you my takes on everything. So that's what. We'll look at here. So we get the short article on the PlayStation blog by Sid Schumann. Glad to finally be able to talk about this. Today we're introducing a new video program called State of Play, and the first episode kicks off Monday, March 25th at 2 p.m. Pacific. State of Play will give you updates and announcements from the world of PlayStation. Our first episode will showcase upcoming PS4 and PSVR software, including new titles, new game announcements, and new gameplay footage. You can watch live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. VOD edition shortly after the episode airs. And this is just the beginning. State of Play will return throughout the year with more updates and announcements. See you Monday. Now, again, it's like I said, I suspected this is what Sony was going to do. Sorry, I clicked a button on my mouse that turned down the sensitivity. I suspected Sony was going to do this as soon as I heard they aren't going to be at E3 this year. I really suspected that that's what they were going to do. And now we have official confirmation that they're going to go throughout the year and drop these shorter, kind of Nintendo Direct styles. I gotta say, I am gonna miss like the big Sony showcase at E3 because I love this stuff. I kind of wish they'd do a little bit of both of these. Like they do these smaller things throughout the year, but we'd still get them to come and do the big trailers and the big fanfare of E3 because I still love the concept of E3. I get it. It's not really what it used to be, the reason, because it used to be for buyers and all that, but now that we've been moving to a digital marketplace and the prevalence of streaming and everything, this is probably the smarter idea and probably just saving the money. But all in all, I kind of will miss the fanfare of E3 because I really love that stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Microsoft do something like this. I mean, now PlayStation's doing. I think EA is going to be doing something like this closer to E3. It wouldn't surprise me if this really kind of becomes the new thing. And you got to credit to Nintendo, who were way ahead of the trend here. Again, yes, PlayStation's basically copying them, but still, I think this is a good move by PlayStation. A good move in just a generation of good moves. I mean, they've been killing it the entire PlayStation 4 generation, and honestly, I don't know when the PlayStation 5 is coming out. I think I've guessed 2021 at the earliest. I don't know why. That's just the vibe I get, but yeah, hopefully they keep killing it in the next one, because I really like what Sony's doing so far. So, yeah. Like I said, that was just a short article, but again, these last couple are going to be pretty short. Coming up next, we got an article on Destructoid. Yakuza 5 running on PS4 is a clear improvement. After yesterday's announcement of a release date for Yakuza 5 on PS4, it was only a matter of time that we'd see an official... God damn it, I cannot read. It was only a matter of time that we'd see an official trailer. That got through an editor, and that is a grammatically incorrect sentence. I was very eager to see how this would run on Sony's current gen system, considering it ran pretty poorly on PS3. Even if there are some changes to content, one can't deny that this PS4 port is a massive improvement. Sadly, there are only seconds of actual gameplay, but the boosted resolution and faster frame rate really bring out the carnage that Yakuza 5 has. It'll be so nice to have the chase sequences not pause for 3 to 5 seconds after you hit a QTE prompt, or have a consistent frame rate while doing heat actions. That increased speed is what blew me away with Yakuza 0. We still have no word on a Western release for these ports, but I suppose it's only a matter of time. Yakuza series producer Toshihiro Nagoshi did state that ports were done for new overseas fans, so it would be kindly to see Sega to keep these. It would be kind of silly to keep these as Japanese exclusives. See, those last couple sentences are making me think: are they bringing Yakuza's 3 and 4 over to the West as well? Because to me, it's weird that they've done 0, done the remake of Yakuza, the remake of Yakuza 2, and now they're dropping. I don't know what to expect out of this, because I haven't even heard that they're bringing Yakuza 5 over until this article, that they're bringing Yakuza 5 over to the West in terms of a PS4 port. Is this going to be another Kiwami-style game where it's basically a new game, or is it going to be basically the same thing, just touched up a little bit, maybe run through the new engine? Honestly, even if that's what it is, I'm totally okay with that, because the only reason I've sat out on Song of Life, which is Yakuza 6, is because I haven't played 3, 4, 5, because they were all in the PS3 generation. But if they're doing remakes of 3, 4, 5, hell, I'd buy them individually with how much I love the Yakuza series. I'm totally for that. Which is, this is basically the entire point of this article, is me sitting here going, for the dear love of God, Sega, bring over Yakuza's 3, 4, and 5, like remakes of these. Hell, touch up 3, 4, and 5, and, re-release them on PS4. I'd still pay for them. Even if they're not through the new Dragon Engine or any of that stuff, I'd still buy them. I'm in. You basically sold to me. Moving on to another short article. The new game by Remedy, Control, is coming out this August. Article Jeff Quirk of Game Informer. We've been releasing new features and videos about Remedy's latest game, Control, for the past few weeks, but one nagging detail has remained elusive. When the heck is this game coming out? Anyways, we knew it was coming sometime this summer, but we didn't know the exact date. Today, an entry on Microsoft's online store accidentally reveals the release date. Which we have confirmed with Remedy. What are you doing this August? More specifically, what are you doing August 27th? That's when the game will be available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. For a whole lot more about the game, blah, 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 just general Game Informer stuff. Remedy really has kind of caught my eye. I've really not seen a lot of it. From what I've seen, there's like one gun in the game, but there's a reason for it. The game takes place inside somebody's mind. It's very Inception-y from how I've seen, yet at the same time, I see a lot of Quantum Break in there. Honestly, I would have rather, instead of them doing another new game, here's what I want Remedy to do. Make a freaking sequel to one of your earlier games. I want Alan Wake 2. I want Quantum Break 2. In all honesty, I get it. Look, I think Alan Wake would probably be the smarter thing to make because it's become a massive cult hit. And Quantum Break, from what I remember, really didn't get a whole hell of a lot of press. Not necessarily press, but it didn't. It kind of came and went. I mean, it was a cool game. I liked it. But the biggest reason why I'm saying I want a sequel to that was because the very end of the game where the main character leaned into that girl's ear and says, "I'll come back for you," and then moves through time or whatever. I gotta go back and play that game. But I'd love to see a Quantum Break 2. I'd love to see Alan Wake 2. Instead, here's Remedy going, hey, you know what? We're just gonna drop a completely new weird game because we're Remedy and we hate you all. No, that's not true. We hate you all. We love you and the fact that we're coming out with new games because Remedy is awesome, but we hate you because we're not going to make sequels of any of our previous games and let you all cry. That's my take on it. But all in all, like I said, not much here other than going, yay, we have a release date for Control. So give me a quick second. I'm going to get up, refill my beverage, and then we're going to finish this out with a quick trailer. All right, well, guys, on to our final thing. Really, the reason I saved this for the last is just because I have been so excited for this game for a long time, just because Paradox finally came out and announced and dropped a trailer for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I haven't seen a whole lot of details into it. I literally caught this because I got an email from GOG saying, hey, you can pre-order Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and I kind of I cried a little bit. Not gonna lie, I had a small moment to myself where I was like, yes, it's finally happening. But I've been talking about this. What Paradox has kind of been joking around with this when they came out with that Tinder dating app, and they've been joking with this. I mean, this is something that I think a lot of people have been expecting to see for a long time, but it's just so nice to see it actually finally get announced. So like I said, probably next week's show or probably in the next day or two, if I find some more details, something that's worth its own individual video, I might do that. But for now, let's just check out this quick 2-minute trailer. I'd kind of like to see them do more games in the world of darkness. Because, I mean, there are games with werewolves and a whole bunch of other mythical creatures.
You're young. You'll fight over scraps.
Oh. Anyone else get a little wiggle down there for that one? Holy crap, that was awesome. I mean, just look, I know that's a cinematic. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the exact game, but it's a CGI thing for the trailer. But still, I love the look of it. The thing I loved about the original Masquerade was just how you could play as any of the different kinds of vampires. It really brought the tabletop. It was a very good way to bring tabletop gaming into a video game RPG. Well, they really found a way to make those work in tandem with each other because there were so many similar rule sets compared to the tabletop. Like, I especially like the people called it, if you play as a Nosferatu, it's immediately hard mode because you can't you have to travel through the sewers because you can't be seen or it breaks the Masquerade. But just that, I'm serious. I am sold now because I haven't seen this trailer yet. I was saving my first time for with you guys. I know I'm making too many sexual innuendos. I'm sorry. But just that first little second there, boom, I'm sold.
Safety is bought with blood. Theirs.
Oh, hello.
Ours. Make one mistake, and it's over. Here, no one's hands stay clean. You will come to despise it as much as I do.
that's sweet.
But I've waited so long to see it again.
Oh my god, I am in. Oh my god, I am in. Like, oh, and it's coming to console too. Sweet. I don't have to play it on PC. No, man, I'm fucking sold. I am fucking sold. I'm in. Yeah, we could probably watch the keynote. But I want to actually have time to sit and really go through that before just because I don't want it to be like one of those things where I show up where I'm like, hey, we're gonna get new details on Ghost of Tsushima, like that one PSX or I think it was 2 years ago at PSX where they're like, ooh, we're gonna have a Ghost of Tsushima panel, and then I go and watch it, and then it's complete bullshit for an hour and a half, and I get drunk halfway and cry. See, this is what I find, the Bloodlines and the infinity symbol. I'm not sure what... I might be reading too much into it, but I feel like that could have something to do with everything. I'm not sure if this is going to have, like, direct connections to Bloodlines. I mean, you know what? I'll probably play Bloodlines, because I have the original on Steam. I got it really cheap. But I'll play... I mean, the game really has aged. Like, a lot of people have said... People have said that is probably one of the best RPGs of the last couple decades. Or not couple decades. I'm trying to remember when the first one came out. It was in the 2000s. They've said that the game is one of the top RPGs. It's buried in some wonky controls and just outdated looks. And the game just runs wrong in a lot of times. The game's just kind of broken. But they've said, but in terms of just how the game is in its RPG mechanics and everything, the game is top tier. And that's what I've heard. I've seen gameplay of it. And people play through it, and I'm like, it's got a cool story, it's got cool concepts and everything. It needs a facelift. And coming out with a sequel, I'm definitely sold. So, all right, guys. Well, there's a show this week. I know, kind of short, kind of me rambling a lot at the beginning, and then just me zooming through the end. But like I said, that's all I got. If you have suggestions for articles in the future, hit me up down in the comments. You want to give me your takes on this week's, or kind of tell me, hey, I think you're wrong on some of my takes on Stadia or the Epic Games Store stuff. Yeah, sure, feel free. Tell me why you think, just make your case and try and change my mind. I'm happy to hear from you guys. I love conversing with you guys and all that shit down in the comments. You can also talk to me through any of the social media. That is Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links to stuff is down in the description. As I already said, drop me a comment, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, help grow the channel, all that general stuff. I'm trying to think if there's any other things like that. I might as well just kind of do some shameless self-promotion of stuff I'm doing right now. We already started, I guess yesterday, we started Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It's pretty cool. Go check out that series. I plan on playing it all the way through, despite how many rage quits and how much crying it's going to take to get through it. I think it's the 26th is the final episode for Telltale's The Walking Dead, the final season. It's the final episode. We're going to play through that. Going to have some fun. Next month, what's next month is April. So it's at the end of the month we have, why can't I think here? At the end of the month, what games are out? It's Days Gone and Mortal Kombat. So, got a bunch of stuff like that. I think that's all the rambling I have in me for right now. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, my name's AJ Gels, this is Untitled Game Channel. I'm out.